So starting here and looking at the single biggest, I've also, I guess I should show you, I sorted these hands by uh, number of big blind per 100 lost. So we're not necessarily interested in looking at the highest dollar value that I lost, because that could just be like a small pot that I lost on the river at 40.80 might actually be a lot less interesting than a big pot that I lost on the river at 1.2, even though I lost a lot more money. You see in this 40.80 hand, I lost almost $5,000. In this hand, I lost only $200. But I think this hand, is actually the more interesting one to look at because relative to the stakes we were playing, this was a much bigger loss. So we go ahead and start off now. So right away, we can see already this is a slightly questionable play that I'm calling out of the big blind with Queen 10 suited. I don't think it's terrible at all, and I don't mind it, but there's already some potential, some possibility that I might be getting myself into trouble. I don't think I knew anything about this player the life. You can see I've only got 80 hands on him, so I can't tell you a whole lot. Um, I couldn't tell you a whole lot about life or how he plays. I'm assuming since he's a 1-2 player, we're at a 1-2 table and I don't recognize him, I probably am a better player than he is. I am going to be out of position against him. We're 150 big blinds deep. Now that makes it less good for me to play the hand out of position, but it does make Queen 10 suited a slightly better hand. I definitely wouldn't be calling here with Queen 10 offsuit. I think I can justify the call with Queen 10 suited. I don't hate it, but it's worth making a note that already I'm playing a little on the loose side from out of position. You could make an argument certainly for three betting this player. In fact, right now let's go ahead and look. We'll click here and we'll look at how often. Whoops. We'll click here and we'll look at how often he folds to three bets. So I've only seen him get three bet twice. It's not a very meaningful statistic. I could make a case for three betting this hand pre-flop. I could make a case for calling it. I could make a case for folding it. So I chose to call it, and as we know, this hand is going to end badly for me. So one place where I could have just cut my losses right away is folding pre-flop. I would have lost one big blind, which is a lot better than losing 100 big blinds like I ended up doing. So we check to the life, and he bets. I choose to raise to $33. This again is okay, but obviously not fantastic. I don't have a whole lot going on for my hand. Looking at this player, he's not very aggressive. His aggression is only 1.5. He does continuation bet 67% of the time. And we can be sure that he's not hitting the flop 67% of the time. He's probably only hitting the flop about half that time. So what that suggests is that about half of his continuation bets, probably a little bit less than that because he's not playing 100% of his hands pre-flop, but a decent amount of the time that he's betting the flop, maybe 30-40% of the time that he's betting the flop, he doesn't have a very good hand. He might fold some of his good hands to check raises, depending on what the hand is, but he also will probably not always fold his bluffs to check raises, especially if he has like a gut shot. He might float me, or he might choose to three bet bluff me or something. So again, it's not a guarantee that check raising this player, just randomly check raising him is going to be profitable. Why did I choose Queen 10 suited to check raise him? I think potentially this is a hand that it's definitely not a hand that's good enough to check and call. I think it would be a much bigger mistake if I just checked and called the flop with this hand. Checking and folding would certainly be the standard play, but I think if I'm always going to check and fold flops that miss, it's going to be better for me to just check and fold pre-flop. I think this player seems like he uses continuation bets well enough that I'm not going to be able to just play fit or fold against him post flop. He's going to win too many pots where I miss. So I've got to be willing to play back at him sometimes.